Hey everyone, Lindsay here. So the other day I sent an email out to my list asking them to ask me anything, and I will respond on my birthday, May 1st. Well, the response was overwhelming, and I didn't think that if I typed out my answers to every single question, I didn't think they would be read as much as if I just spoke in a video and slash podcast. So that's what I decided to do. I have all of the questions up in front of me, so I'm going to be looking at my screen. I am recording this on video. I'm going to transcribe it so we can listen to it via podcast, all of the things, right? We always recycle our content and use it as much as we can. But I'm just going into the emails and reading them. I have not read them at all. I have no idea what questions am going to be asked. I said, ask me anything. So I don't know if I'm going to regret this or not. But here is the first question. What a cute idea, Lindsay. After 33 years, yes, I know, a long time, but I love my work. I've been pivoting my fitness, nutrition, and wellness coaching business to online. I am a high value coach looking for high value clients. My niche is 40 women over 40. I've been working hard on it for nearly a year. Had a coach, but I'm struggling to get genuine leads. I don't know what my actual question is, but you'll no doubt have an answer for me. So when we're struggling with getting genuine leads, it's usually because we're not hitting it right with the copy and our messaging, right? And I've done so many sales breakthroughs. I've worked with so many coaches over the years that I know that the primary problem for not getting leads, which I don't like that word. I don't like the word leads because I feel like it takes the human out of it. When we're not making a difference that we strive to make every single day, it's usually because our messaging is going over their heads. And that could be because you're not communicating what problem you solve for people. You're not communicating, who it is. You're not just like nailing it with the copy. And that comes down to you really deciding, you know what, when people read my work, I want them to feel like I'm reading their mind. I want them to feel like I get them. I want them to feel like I'm in their head. And that should be our goal whenever we're writing copy. And it comes with, those first impression moments, right? Like on our website, the headline, the Instagram bio, all those first impression moments really matter. So I have the sun just beaming in here. So I want you to take a look at those things. Those are the starting points, the first impressions, and then go into your copy and dig in and see, gosh, am I really speaking to that person who is in the thick of it right now? Why did you start your business? Are you talking to that person who you once were when you started? It all comes back to messaging. Okay. Next question. To know your usual daily routine. What time do you get up? What do you do during the day? How long things take, including your homeschooling, exercise, how long your breaks are, what time you finish, etc. When you go to bed. I am woeful at this and know you have a good system. Great idea, by the way. I hope you have a great birthday. I love this question, and I feel like it's such a good ask me anything question. Like, what do you do every minute of the day? So usually a typical day for me is I always joke and say it's like Groundhog Day. It's the same thing every day, and I'm happy about that. But usually I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Um, Wednesdays 5, I get to sleep in a little bit, but Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays 4:30. I wake up, I turn on my prayer app. I am Catholic. I listen to the rosary while I walk downstairs, let my dog out to go to the bathroom. And then I take up my vitamins. I'm giving you all the details. Take up my vitamins, put them on the counter, wait for the dog to get done. He comes in, he gets his treat. I go upstairs. I get my workout clothes on, I brush my teeth. I go and I do my workout for the day. It might be different. Mondays and Thursdays are primarily focused on like that's my leg day. I walk on the treadmill. Tuesdays and Thursdays are upper body, walk on the treadmill, go get ready for work. I work from home, and so like all of those rooms that I have to go to are all upstairs. So I'm not disturbing my kids or anything like that. Kind of in my own little world up here. I go to work. I work from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And right after that, I head downstairs. Um, and usually I need to reset my brain. Like I described it yesterday as like I feel like sometimes my brain is floating in the air. And so wearing different hats, homeschool mom, coach, working there's a lot of different shifts I have to make mentally. So usually I will start that out with I just need to like wash the dishes. I need to reset my brain. I need time to think. And then I can usually, we'll clear off the table. The tables, my kids are home all day, obviously, so there's always, chaos on the dining room table. Clear up space, and then we start our homeschool. They usually wait for me. I wish that they would have the motivation to do things while I'm working, but they usually wait for me to come down, which is fine. They're young yet. And then we usually do something together. It just depends on what kind it is. Then we kind of break off into their own things. So I have a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 15-year-old. And 15-year-old will go and do his own thing. Gracie, who's 10, she will sit at the table with us. She'll need guidance with math and those new concepts that they're learning. And then my youngest, we work together and we do our work, whatever she needs, language, reading, math, all of those good stuff. Then my husband comes home. He usually starts dinner while we're finishing up, which is a blessing. We eat pretty early. It's kind of funny. We're senior citizens. We eat super early, but we like to get done early so we can, either go outside, just relax depending on the weather. I live in North Dakota, so it can be a little bit tricky with the seasons. And just kind of have some space. We personally like to do or do something with, family wise. We end the day pretty early, around 7:30. I'm feeling pretty tired, so I always, give a shout out like let's start getting ready for bed. Go take your vitamins, brush your teeth. Uh, Everybody goes in their room. I don't think they go to bed that early. I don't expect them to, but they kind of, at least love right now they love their bedtime routine with me. My two girls like to be read to at night. We say our prayers and we go to bed and that's it. So I end the day pretty early, just, as a functioning home. And then I go get ready for bed. And usually, hopefully, if I'm sleeping by 9:30, I'm happy, but sometimes I hear the 10 o'clock siren. We have a siren that blows at 10 o'clock. It is obnoxious. Then I'm like, oh, I need to go to bed because I'm gonna be dragging tomorrow. So that is my daily routine. Pretty much the same every single day. Maybe we can start a little bit later, but generally they're about the same. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Happy birthday. Thank you, approach. And I'm currently building some AI-powered mini solutions with upsells, which I'm excited about. My question is, could this be viable purely as part of organic funnels with no ad spend? I'm not adverse to ads, at all, but would love your thoughts on this. Every product is able to survive without ad spend. I only spend money on ads for one product. I I don't believe that you have to build a business with ads, right? I didn't spend the money that I spend on ads until, 2024 is when we were really full on ads. I do not put money towards all of my low ticket offers because I don't feel like I have to. And that would just get messy, complicated, and quite stressful. I believe in building up your business organically before you run ads because before you run ads, you should be financially able to do it and mentally able to do it because it's a big mental game. So I recommend if you're going to focus on organic marketing, which you should, because that should be the backbone. Let's say tomorrow Meta was like, we're not going to do ads anymore. You don't want your business to fall flat on its face, right? You don't want to rely solely on ads. You should have a good organic marketing backbone, which means your website should be properly set up, which means your social media presence should be good. And you should have some sort of content medium, whether it's blogging, just podcasting, whatever it is, you can do all of them, but you should have that to hold you up. If you don't want to do ad yet, or you just don't want to do it, it is possible. I built my business that way. And anybody can as well. It's just it comes down to the offers itself and then how you sell it every single day. Okay, next one. Question. As woman, mom, wife who does all the things, how did you carve out time to work on your business and create a course? And do you have any time and technology tips for keeping it simple? I'm feeling very overwhelmed. Thank you. Yeah, it can be really overwhelming when you think about it. When you look at everything that I built, this was not built overnight at all. When I first started 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, I didn't have three kids. I, you know, I had always had a full-time job. But the one thing that I always told myself was, I can really only work on my business during nap times because the two kids I had at that time were little. And the only time that I could use to sit at the computer was when someone was taking a nap. And so I thought, I don't have it in my vision to want to quit my full-time job. Actually, I really enjoy it. But I do want a business that doesn't need me 8 hours a day, because why would I want to create a full-time job for myself? That would be crazy. So I really learned how to maximize my time. I've always been really good at time management. That's always been like a passion of mine. And so I built a business that only needs strong, concentrated doses of me every day. And so if I wanted to build up a course suite the way I have, if I wanted to build a new product or whatever it is, I take things day by day, right? I work in small bits, but when I do work on my business, it's very potent and I'm not sitting here going from tab to tab. Like I'm very specific with how I use my time and very intentional because I have to be. Like there's no room for me to be lazy in building my business. There's no room for me to sit and think and ponder over things that don't really matter, right? Like a lot of people overthink things. I take action. So if I'm going to sit and do something, I'm going to for a purpose. I'm not going to sit there and just go and look at what everyone else is doing. That is a complete waste of time. If I want to work on an offer, I first start with the concept of it. I pop it in. I use Asana. I put the idea in there. The next day, if I want to kind of play around with it and see how could I make this into an offer, which I do. I have like two or three offers that I have in my calendar in Asana right now that I just keep pushing forward until maybe a Saturday morning when I don't have any client calls and the house is going to be quiet, I'll work on it. But I don't pressure myself into building something or rush myself. I just do little bits at a time. And I think that everybody has different days, so we can't compare my time, my lifestyle to yours because they're so different. But I think what we can do is be really intentional with the little time that we all have. And so I don't want you to rush it or feel like you have to compare to me or anyone else and just take one thing at a time. Like there's no other way to do it. And keep your tech and everything else simple. If you find that, the thing that's hindering you from creating a course is the tech that you have, then find something easier to make it all work better. I found that when I was using Samcart or any other payment processor before that, that would always kind of like stop my creative juices. Like if I create a new course, it's going to be a pain to hook up Samcart to this and blah, blah, blah. And that's why I switched to ThriveCard few years ago. I don't know, because it made it really easy. I could just create a course, create the checkout page, boom, it was done. I didn't have to connect a bunch of things. I didn't have to band-aid stuff together. So if your tech is overwhelming you, think about why it's overwhelming you and what you could do to make it better for you so you can unleash that creativity that might be hindered because you don't want to do all the techie stuff, right? If you just want to create and be able to do things easily, then don't make it difficult to do so. Okay. Here's my question. I'm a Chris to remove imposter syndrome and build confidence in their calling. Is what I offer too general, and does it need to be more specific than what it already is? Coaches other Christian therapists to remove imposter syndrome and build confidence in their calling. So you want to think about it this way. Are your Christian therapists Googling, how do I build more confidence in my calling? Or are they Googling, how can I get more clients? How can I get more bookings, whatever it is? So we kind of like got to get out of our head and think, what are people actually Googling and thinking about the first thing they wake up in the morning? I hope I have a new client in my inbox. We got to speak that language, right? Otherwise, goes right over the head. No one's probably Googling, how can I build my confidence? They don't see the confidence is the issue. What they see is they're not making any money in their Christian therapy practice. And that's who you need to talk to, the person who's in that space, right? You started your stuff for a reason. You probably went through that imposter syndrome and the confidence, but what were you actually really suffering from in your words at that time? And that's the language that you need to use. I created my audit through the Dream client code, but just haven't been able to get any sales from it. What am I doing wrong? So it's going to be copy. It's always going to be that, the messaging, etc., because that's what people see. They don't see the results. They don't see what you've built. This is what they see, the words in front of them. So if you're in the Dream Client Code, go to the lesson, little to no sales, that's what it's called, and watch that, because sometimes we get all up in our heads and maybe like five will have seen the page and you haven't made any sales and you're obsessing for no reason. But this is going to give you some data to actually look at so you can make a good decision as to whether you need to make changes to your sales page. Okie dokie. Okay, next question. So that we have time and focus on other life priorities, but also engage professionally. What's your secret to managing your time to be an awesome coach, mom, and wife? That's I mean, if you listen to kind of like my day, you see that I don't really have any idle time, because I think it's like you have to recognize the type of person that you are. I don't like being idle. I like to be going. And so that works for me. Having, the responsibilities, the blessings that I have on my plate, I'm able to do that because of the personality that I have. That's who I am here to be. And I'm just using that as, that's just who I am. To not work a ton. Like I don't like that phrase for me. I don't resonate with that phrase. I work hard on everything in my day, right? Like at the end of the day, I go to bed knowing that I worked hard at my job. I worked hard with my family. Like everything is nice and tightened up every night before to bed. Like that makes me happy. But I I don't even think about like working on my business hard. Like I don't even feel like I've said that before. I just know how to make it function in a way that isn't going to need me so much, if that makes sense. I'm kind of like rephrasing what we have in common, right? We're not like plugging away and typing and doing all the things every single day. We can build a business that doesn't need us as much because with the tools that we have available to us now, there's literally no need to do that unless you're making something or whatever. But the day-to-day stuff should not take you very long. Managing my time, I think it all comes back to like your responsibility as uh, the roles you play in your life. How can you make it better? Look at your day. Could I get it earlier? Could I go to bed a little bit earlier? What are the things in your day? And kind of do like your own self-analysis and see like where could I improve? Is there room for improvement? Is this just going to be a season where it's going to be a little bit harder, right? As your kids grow up, blah, blah, blah. Like every season is different. So I recognize those seasons and I'm very flexible with them. Family stuff happens, health, all these things can just be thrown at us in a matter of seconds. So being flexible with it. And then if something, God forbid happens where you need to I can't be in my business right now, have you built it so it can survive without you plugging away at it every day? Like that's super important. Okay. Next question. I have a successful offline chiropractor. A lot of coaching and teaching is patients. Now I'm intentionally building an online business, courses, digital products, and an email list. If you were in my shoes, what would you focus on first for audience building? And what would you definitely not waste time or energy on? So I would work on just showing up where you're needed. Where are your people and what's going to catch their eye? What's going to make them feel like you're reading their mind? What's going to make them feel like finally someone showed up who's talking about this? How can you stand out in your industry? This goes for everyone. There are people in your industry. There's so many people. Like we're not a unique thing, right? There's tons of business coaches. There's tons of coaches just like us. But what can you disrupt in your world? What can you kind of ruffle some feathers with? Like, what bothers you? Like, for me, it's the discovery call thing. Like, you don't need to do discovery calls. I will say that until I'm blue in the face. You don't need to do it. You don't need to quit your job. Like, what are the things that the people in your industry are preaching that you're like, no, that's not true. So what can, and you can stand out by using those as kind of like your foundation, and then create your offers based upon that. So you're different, right? People will buy your stuff when it's different from everyone else's. Um, and then get the basics up, your website, social media, be consistent on it, your content medium, all of those good things. Build up that organic marketing, so you can add on to it when you're able to, like with marketing, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, next question. As a homeschool mom, I personally love May. School is winding down and summer is almost here. I do have a few questions. What's your 9 to 5? I know you work from home full time in addition to running your coaching business. I am a senior project manager in my 9 to 5. What made you pivot to creating digital products versus just coaching clients? I've always had digital products, but I only had like one signature one, Stand Up Coaching Academy, for many years, and that's what I promoted. Oh, I almost fell off my chair. That's what I promoted via launching back in the day, and that was just an exhausting life cycle. So I moved to several different products so those can recoup the amount of income that the launches brought me without me having, just because that just wasn't in the cards anymore for me. How long have you been coaching and creating digital products? Well, okay, so Standout Coaching Academy was created in 2018. Before that, I had a couple other digital products that I would sell, and then I've been coaching since 2011, business coaching since 2015, 2014, so a long time. As a homeschool mom, what's your best advice to other homeschool moms working from home? Um, don't compare yourself to other homeschool moms who don't work a full-time job. And like that comparison is real, right? So like for me, I'll get in my own head and see other homeschool moms, starting their day with their morning basket, and then they do this, and then they do that, and then it's lunchtime, and I'm like, I am still working at that time. So I learned right off the bat that homeschooling is very similar to online business, because we can get stuck in the comparison trap so fast, like comparing our life, our day with someone else's, and then make something about how we have our day. And that's crazy. Like, how could we do that? Number one, people put their highlight reels on social media, and their perfect day is of course going to be on social media. It's not going to be their worst, right? So don't compare yourself to other moms. Don't compare your kids to other kids. And you have to adapt a schedule that works best for you. So for me, like you know my schedule. And we do it in the afternoon. When I first started, I thought, well, I'm gonna have to go to school in the morning, and how am I gonna do that? I have a job. I'm keeping my job. What That's not in the cards for us. And I'm not waking my kids up at 4:30 in the morning to read. That we're just not doing that. Um, as for curriculum, we kind of use a variety of things. I really like Masterbooks Math, for all the kids. Like we've used that for years. Let's see, and their language up to a point. And right now we've kind of gotten a little bit more where let's just read together in a chat. I find like that works better for us. Kind of pulling away from like like so much structure, and like you have to do this workbook and that workbook. I don't like, and recognizing where your kids thrive. Like for example, there's an app that we bought, Synthesis. Uh, and my littlest one doesn't really like it, and I thought she would. It was kind of like a different way of teaching math. Try to fill as many gaps as you possibly can without me having to sit there. Teaching fractions 3 times, that's a lot. So I thought, well, if they do this, that might help, their time with me. So my youngest liked it to a point, and then she was like, I don't really like this anymore. But my middle one loves it. My oldest one, take it or leave it. It's kind of how he is with everything. But my middle one really likes it. She thrives off of it. And so it's like the reason why you started homeschooling is to do it differently, right? To really pay attention to your kids' learning styles. And everything, isn't it amazing how different your kids can be? My kids are so different. And so being able to adapt to that and giving them what they need, and then, okay, well, they have this in common, then I can feed them where they need to be fed, and this one can do this and this one can do that. The things that we do together, because I believe in doing things together, is science and history and anything faith based. We do all that together. We don't keep things like that separate. So doing as many things as we can together really helps save on time as well. And we always take Fridays off. And just, some days you kind of recognize the energy in the house and you're like, I think we just need to take today off. And no one's going to argue with me, I'm sure. Are your kids using an online program, or do you work with the with te work with them teaching textbooks? Yeah, like I said, we kind of do both. I'm always open to new, just like with online coaching, you can really fall down the rabbit hole of purchasing things and starting over and blah blah blah. I just really monitor how they're doing and the interest that they have, and just make sure that like that's being taken into consideration. How long do I spend teaching my kids? I do, um, well, my youngest Violet is a little bit longer because we're together longer because she needs more. So we kind of do like our together stuff. It takes over an hour, not very long. And then they do their own thing, however long that takes. And Violet, again, will probably add another hour and a half after that. You said you do a variation of online teaching and teaching textbooks. This is my 14th year of homeschooling. That's awesome that you've been homeschooling for that long. It's been 5 for me. So teaching textbooks, I actually have that up as a tab on my browser because I've been looking into that. And I thought, you know what, if I can hand a little bit more off, that would be helpful to me. Thank you. Those are really good questions. Okay, here's another one. I'd love to know what's your top piece of advice for a business owner struggling to grow on social media? Stop identifying yourself as struggling on growing on social media. Use it as something fun that you can use to communicate to your people. A different approach to looking at Instagram, for example, is like, this is a free app that I can use to talk about my business. That's pretty cool. And then just making it fun for you. And I think that's really important because we can really sit and think, I lost 2 followers yesterday, and then that person liked my post yesterday, and now they don't like it. Like, have this idea in your head. I don't care if people like my stuff or not. This is just what I have to say, and I'm going to say it. Look at it that way. Don't look at it as I need to grow every single day. How do you know that someone didn't open up the app, see your post, and screenshot it? How do you know that someone didn't open up the app, see your post, and smile? How do you know any of that? How do you know that someone saw your post, went to your website, and bookmarked it? You don't know any of that stuff. So if you stop looking and look at it as this is my bullhorn for communicating to people, then it just becomes a whole lot easier. And it all comes back to messaging. If you feel like you're not connecting with your people, you're just not getting, you know, you're not getting anything out of it. I know that's frustrating. And I wish that I had the answer to, because sometimes I feel that way as well. But I've said this before. I don't care in the nicest way possible. I don't care. It's there, and that's all I'm gonna do. I can only say and post what I can post. I have no control after that. And that's so freeing once you accept that. Okay, next question. My question is on ads. I really like the business model you've built with small offers and big ticket one-on-one coaching, yet still a lot of flexible support. In order to see the small ticket sales success you have, did it require ads, or how much is attributed to ads? I have one campaign going, and that's for the Dream Client Code, but I sell several other offers every single day. They could come from people who have purchased the Dream Client Code, or they come from social media or find it on my website. I'm restructuring my offer suite business model to fit my life now that I have a 7-month old, along with two older kids with busy athletic schedules. I love how you honor your family and life with your business structure. I haven't run ads before, so they feel a bit risky. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, run ads when you're financially and mentally ready to do so, but build up your if you're going to create a new offer, build up the buzz on social media, talk about your new thing, sell it on your posts, have it really easy to buy on social media. That's all we can really do organically. Create blog posts that have calls to action that allow people to, really make that blog post all come together with that one offer. Get creative with how you talk about things. Celebrate every new purchase. Celebrate everything. So you're building the buzz. And so people on social media start getting used to you talking about your offers. That's how we can organically make those sales. And then all that income that's coming in, you can put some away to, you know what, when I have this much $500 extra, I'm going to put that towards ads. And then I can build off of that, right? Build yourself a little ad nest egg. Let's see. Some copy pitches mixed in here. Okay. In your experience, do you find automation to be valuable with small business lead generation? It's I don't really look at, I mean, automation, as far as I go with automation, is like people buy stuff and they get added to my email list. I don't rely on automation to get clients. I rely on myself and my results and the results that my clients get to bring in clients. What are my top recommended tools or strategies to complement authentic relationship building? And which specific parts of the process would benefit from automation? Like if people comment or they message me a certain word, I have ManyChat rolling so it can give them the link for any offer that I've created. So for example, if you comment the word code on one of my offers or message me that word, I have ManyChat sending them the link right away. Like that's obviously super helpful. When I first started selling the Dream Client Code via ads, it got really overwhelming because I didn't have an automation set up. And I would come in the morning and I would have all these messages. And I thought, I need to give these people the link when they want it, not 12 hours later. So that's made a significant difference. And I use it for several products. Let's see. What alternative approaches do you recommend for making lead generation more efficient? I'm particularly interested in solutions that offer good ROI without requiring extensive technical expertise. I think ManyChat is like the most basic thing you could do. You can make it as simple as possible. And then talking about those products inside your social media so people can communicate and then get the answer, get the link right away is super important. Okay, can you show us your weekly schedule of time given to family, your full-time job, and your coaching business? Well, I did at the beginning, so there, you got your answer right there. I'm looking to transition to a remote job, and coaching is best, and also want to be home with my family. Well, I hope I answered your question at the beginning of this. I think I gave a pretty detailed explanation as to my typical job and my daily schedule. So if you have any more questions on that, you can let me know. But I can add on to it and say for coaching for clients, I only work with clients right now on Thursday afternoons and Saturday mornings. Those are kind of like that's how it's always been for many, many years. Thursday afternoons and Saturday mornings, I will work with. So I have two, maybe three spots a week available for clients to book, and that's it. And it works pretty well with the amount of clients that I have coming in. Let's see. Thank you so much for answering my questions. I appreciate it. I'm a new coach, love group dynamics, but terrified to handle the big group programs. Plus, I don't like Facebook interacting 24/7 with my community. Everybody's doing membership, but still, I don't have any audience yet. My question, based on group format, what would be the best business model for me to get started? Get started and then really see what you like. You can have group programs and you can come in and just have your specific hours that you go and answer questions in a Facebook group or not. But the most important thing is to get out there and really get a real good real life experience so you know whether you liked it or not. Because sometimes we just get in our heads and we don't even know if this is something that we kind of made up in our head. Like, I don't like this and I don't like that. But what if you actually tried it? It will maybe it won't be so bad. Okay, this is good. I've bought several of your offers. Thank you. I really like your approach, but I find myself buying too many things and not going through them or implementing them. I'm sorry. I also have a whole shelf of books I bought. If you were me, what thing would you do next to make money, some money back? What would you implement first? What's the first step? Go find one of my offers that you bought that helps you create. Go find, do you have 1K in a Jiffy? Do you have micro offer mastery? Go do those and start selling. Your first offer can start bringing in some income. But thank you for your support. But don't look at it this way. It's going to make me sad if you don't take action on, but that's what I want for you. Okay, we only have a handful left, so we're doing this. We're moving. Happy birthday, sweet lady. I hope it's beyond wonderful. I know you've touched on this before, but as technology and things have changed, what are your best tips for making money immediately? Good question. Go do 1K in a jiffy. Pre-sell something, create it, get paid to create it, and then keep selling it. Can you do it without a website? I know you, and I know I kind of figured you would ask this. I think I believe you need a website. I 100% will push that with everyone. Like you need to have something that people can come home to, and you need to be found online. Did open office hours, ask me anything during this time frame, work out for you? Do you recommend it? Could that be a pay for option? What method do you think works best? Let's see. So this is actually really fun to do. But when I'm thinking about this business wise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a podcast episode and I'm going to put it on my website to bring in more content. And I just want to help people and give them a chance to ask because I know that I only go on calls with clients. So this is a really good opportunity for me to help you and kind of measure what you guys are looking for. What do you guys need? It helps me, and I hope it helps you guys too. So I'm not just using this as a way to, I'm gonna reply back and here it's over. This is a way I can build my business and show people that I really genuinely do care what questions you have, and I really want to help. Okay. Only if you're comfortable answering. How much, if at all, does faith, spirituality, or personal philosophy show up in how you run your business? Good question. I'm 100% comfortable and confident. I am Catholic, and what the Catholic Church teaches to fulfill my spiritual needs every single day. And so, but I don't put it into my work, right? Like that's not the business that I'm running. But I know that I am here for a reason. I know that I don't need to worry about anything. I don't need to get anxious about anything. I'm just here to do what I'm supposed to do, but I need God to help me. So that's why I start my day out with prayer. That's why I do all of those things to help me be present in all of the spaces that I need to fill every single day. And I know that I can't do it without God. I don't need a self-help book. I don't need affirmations. I don't need that stuff. But what I do need is my faith. And so I make sure that throughout the day, I am I have touch points and I'm making sure that I'm here, checking in. Here's how I am. Do I need nourishment? Then I know where I can go. Okay. I like this question. This is a really good one. Okay. I've been loving your materials and so signed up for your coaching club. Welcome. Here's my power question coming from a combination from me and my buddy ChatGPT. Okay, real talk. If you were me, menopause, trying to build a sustainable business actually pays me and helps women like me without having to dance on Instagram every day. What would you focus on? Do what you want to do. I don't dance on Instagram every day. I've never have and I never will. What would you ignore? Everyone else and do your own thing. What would you double down on? Looking at okay, you said, what would you double down on for the next 12 months? Think about your life in the next 12 months. At the end of that, you had all this success. How did that happen? Write your story and then use that as a script to go into the next 12 months. This is how it thinks I sound, and it's not too far off. Knows me well by now. Thank you and happy birthday. Thank you. So yeah, you have to look at how you want your business built. Yours. Not how did she do it? I have to become her. Like you don't have to do that. Look at yourself 12 months from now. how did all the success happen? Somebody's interviewing you. How did you manage to do this? Well, here's how my ideal situation panned out, and then use it as the script to go throughout your next 12 months. One more question. Your audit of my website has been incredible. Thank you so much and happy birthday. How generous of you to spend your time supporting us on your birthday. I plan to revamp my website for the third time. I plan to offer a mindset, performance, and empowerment audit 60 in the beginning. It's happening to me now. And I can't control that. And that's unfortunate when that happens, especially when you've put your heart into your coaching. It's like disappear. Of course, I pray that nothing happened and I hope they're all right. But I also know that sometimes they're just people who are not in integrity. And I think, you know what? That's kind of their problem, not mine. And yes, not getting paid for what I've it hurts. And when I think about it, it stings, but I can't dwell on it. I can't do anything about it. Maybe they'll come back and make things right. Maybe they won't. But I have as many safeguards as I can, but sometimes it happens. And I don't think, and no matter what level you get at, it's never going to go away. I think you're always going to have a couple of those apples in there. But just to redeem that, I've had people who will back pay me of things that they missed payments on without me even asking. And so there are really good people out there. I don't think about I don't do things thinking about the worst case scenario. I do things because I think it's going to help somebody. And I offer those payment plans because I know that this could help them build their business and not financially drain them immediately and cause so much stress. I never would want to do that. So that's why I do what I do and I don't worry about the rest. Okay, you guys, we did it. We answered all of the questions and I got it done in one shot. So if you liked this, maybe we'll keep doing it. But I think we had just kind of the main theme is like, how do you do what you do with your day? And so I'm always happy to share that. And I actually have had several requests to make that into a course, which feels super weird to do something like that. But I'm glad I got to speak it here. So hopefully that scratches the itch. Thank you guys for spending my birthday with me. Thank you for asking those questions. It really shocked me to see all of those come in and made me happy. Thank you for being in my world. Thank you for being a student. Thank you for being on my email list. Thank you for just following me. It means the world to me. You guys are the reason I'm doing all of this. So thank you. And I hope to see you on another one of these sometime in the future. But if not, come say hi on Instagram. I would love to see you.